So they tell me, all right, the next appointment is July of 2020, which is like 5 months later. I'm like, wow, I would like to get an opinion ASAP because they told me to go home and no treatment, no nothing. Like just,
No
hey,
PT, nothing. You're just walking and you're just doing everything normal.
I'm walking. That's another thing. In the hospital after the brain surgery, I was a fall risk. So all the nurses, they see me walking at 2 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever time. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm walking." Like I'm a believer that when you stop moving, you start deteriorating more and more.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
the sooner I could walk, the sooner I could run, the sooner I can do anything, like I feel like I have a better outcome.
Yep.
So I kind of went against the wishes. Like they wanted me to just lay down all day and maybe walk a little bit. But I was like, I want to say I was walking a few miles a day in the hospital, just in circles in the
Just
unit.
losing your
Like
mind.
just yeah, like just this is better than sitting still and thinking too much.
For sure.
And I will talk to nurses. This is before COVID too. Like COVID wasn't lockdowns didn't happen until like the month after and two
Thank
months
God,
after.
because that would have been an awful situation for you.
No, it's been I can't imagine what people are going through right now in the hospitals. Like I
Right.
can't imagine me getting the news I was getting in the hospital by myself,
Yeah.
completely by myself, and
Mm.
then not being able to communicate. And after brain surgery, I had my mom and Vicky like there the first day at least, and Vicky was there every single day. Like Vicky only went home to get herself clothes, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that support system is invaluable. Like, you can't put a number on it. It's just so people that don't have someone, I can't imagine what they're going through. Like I don't wish that upon anybody. Um, things got weird because I did more MRIs and the lesions they were still like active like in February. So my left foot after the hospital, sorry, I might be going a little crazy.
You're okay. No, no, you're
The,
good.
my left foot was numb, and so was my left hand. But as I was leaving the hospital, my left foot, my left hand, they were getting better. Like there was sensations were coming back. Like I was almost becoming a normal person again.
Yeah.
No treatment whatsoever, besides putting brain out.
Stapling your
Just
forehead.
I stayed with my forehead. So a lot of trauma, a lot of stress, and I was getting better. I'm like, bro, this doesn't make sense. Like, why am I getting better under stress? Like,
Right.
usually it's the inverse.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you're
the
stressed
inverse
out,
correlation.
you go worse.
Yeah.
And so I went to this doctor, Dr. Carbonar, which is incredible. She's Romanian at the University of Miami. And she opens up my scans for like the first time when I'm there. And I brought her the CDs, and her face is just
Another great
like,
reaction.
and my head is completely like buzz cut. And she's like, I can't. She's like, wow, oh my god. I asked her what are her impressions, and she's like, oh my god, like I can't believe this.
It's very
I'm like, what
scientific of
kind of?
you.
Yeah, I was like that. Usually doctors don't talk like that, And I was like, well, I feel the same way, Like,
Yeah, right.
like,
You have your head shaved.
yeah. And she's great. She's incredible. Like she's the best doctor I've ever had in my entire life, and
Hmm.
I owe her my life in a way. Um, so she pulled up the scans and she's like, this is incredible in the sense of wow, like you have so much damage to your brain. And so I didn't add this part. So I not only have lesions in my brain, but they did more scans like 1 or 2 days before the brain surgery, which was so I'm saying like it was 1 or 2 days, like like it's not very far.
Hmm.
So I don't know what day it was. um I have more lesions going down my cervical and my thoracic spine just continuously, like lesion. So in total, my spine. This is a spoiler alert. When I went to UM, they made a report of my MRIs, but it was much more user friendly. Let's say much
Okay.
more easy to read,
Hmm.
and it basically said that my brain, I have. It literally says 20 greater than
Oh my God. So not even a
my
specific
brain.
number.
Not a specific number. And then it says black holes 5 greater than. I hadn't heard the black holes part yet. Like
Yeah.
the other hospital, they didn't tell me black holes. I just know I had lesions, white matter lesions, not complete necrosis of my brain in certain parts.
Jesus.
And then my cervical and my thoracic in total had like 17 more lesions. Um, and I'm thinking like, I look at myself in the mirror, and I'm like, what is going on right now?
Yeah.
Like, why is this happening?
Yeah. What is going on?
Yeah, and I'm getting better. And I'm like, I don't understand. And Vicky's like, oh, you're a superhero. I'm like, I'm not a superhero. This is just pure like luck. Like I
Listen,
just,
don't. This needs to be logical. You can't just throw superhero in there. All right.
yeah, exactly. Like this is not like, this doesn't make sense whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So she says it's incredible. She's like, oh, if I had a lineup, okay, so you go to you need a witness to see like, is it number one, number two, number three, number four, or five? She's like, if there was a lineup of 10 patients, you'd be the last person that I would pick for these MRI scans. She's like, you'd be my last option.
And this is the
Because
doctor that you saw.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just looked so normal. And like she did a whole exam on me. And the only thing I really had was the nystagmus, which like my eyes would like, jump.